On in Spring Hill, Florida. The borders could have long ago been secured. Why they haven't done so is a mystery to me. I thought we were electing the smartest and the brightest to represent us in Washington. When I lost my career to the Chinese in 1982, I realized then our government was not and is not looking out for its citizens. Not all, but quite a few forget why they are elected when they get inside the Washington circle. Being popular and reaping a lot of benefits from being in the circle becomes their goal. Well, I have to say, I think you're being very generous and polite in your language about what has happened to this country, and particularly to you just about 30 years ago. The reality is that our elected officials right now are not representing the majority in this country. You've heard me talk about it. You do not hear our elected officials talk about the rule of the majority in this country. You no longer hear about the rule of the majority, which is, after all, the fundamental tenet of being a constitutional democratic republic. And the fact is, we are not being represented, and the country right now is, frankly, our government is off the rails. It is both incompetent, dysfunctional. It is also, without question, acting in utter disregard of the American people's values and our sentiments and the direction we want this country to go. Both President Bush and President Obama chose not to enforce our borders. Both President Bush and President Obama have chosen to put nearly every other issue before the American people to simply reject the majority view and insist upon their own. That is the view of the elites. And unless we make it very clear come November that we're not going to be treated as if there were no requirement for the consent of the governed in this country, we're in for a very long period of difficulty and, I believe, great troubles in this nation. So I hope, indeed I pray, that turnout, as I said, in November is a very large one. Carl in Chicago says, I think our government has gone mad, insane. To me, it's just common sense to want to protect your state from people entering illegally. I really don't understand how anyone, and I mean anyone, could condemn Arizona for what it's trying to do to help itself out. Our just about worthless government won't help with illegal immigration, but damn you if you try to help yourself. Unfortunately, that is the attitude. But remember, the noise that's being made in this country right now is being made by left-wing activist groups who are attacking the state of Arizona. And Arizona, to its credit, is not rolling over. They are standing up for themselves, standing up for the principles of states' rights and state government and the powers to protect and to provide for their own law and order. By the way, it's all constitutional. Everyone who is braying about this on the left knows that. And what is most telling is neither Eric Holder, the chief law enforcement officer in the country, the U.S. Attorney General, Janet Napolitano, the Secretary of Homeland Security, or the President of the United States have chosen to read that 10-page law out in Arizona. But that hasn't slowed them one bit, has it, from criticizing and condemning the people of Arizona. I'm telling you, this is an ideological nightmare that we call the Obama administration. And it is not about a government of all the people, let me assure you. This is a government of the left, for the left, and by the left. And don't make any mistakes about it, and don't expect a fair break from these folks. They mean business in taking this country to the left, and I fear that we're only going to see a more passionate and animated effort to do just exactly that by President Obama and his administration, filled with people who don't read laws that they condemn. If we put up with this beyond November, then this country will, I hate to say it, but the country will get exactly what we deserve if we remain apathetic and choose not to take action at the polls.